So it was the summer of 2014, one of the best summers as far as spending time with kids and family. We had a family vacation plan that summer in July. We headed to Gatlinburg to spend time with my side of the family, and then we had another trip that week as well planned at Center Hill Lake. And we had, a phenomenal time at both places. And I think even my children, they look back and they'll say, "Mom, that was like the best summer ever." We left Gatlinburg after a fun, an eventful 2 days at Dollywood with our family. Luke got to ride his first roller coaster, him and Landon did, and they absolutely loved it. We left there and we went to Center Hill Lake, and little did we know we'd be coming back from vacation without one of our children. That last day we were there, we were gonna get up and go to Cracker Barrel the next morning, so I did what most moms do. They laid everything out. We finished up our day at the pool. Some other family came in town and they said, and his little girl his little cousin wanted to go jump off the diving board one more time. So Luke's like, "Mom, can I go watch Mia jump off the diving board?" And I'm like, "Well, sure, And I remember him walking away, running down with the rest of the family. Little did we know that would be the last time we saw him run and walk away. But the next thing I knew, we heard, voices screaming, "Luke has been found in the pool and he is non-responsive." So we ran out there, and I think I prayed so much that my knees, like the next few days, I didn't notice until about 3 days after, my knees were actually just bare. I'd prayed so hard for a miracle. They life flighted Luke from Cookeville to Vanderbilt Hospital, and that was the longest drive of our life to and from there. We got there, and that's when we were informed that Luke was brain dead, and there was probably zero chance of Luke recovering, and that if we wanted to take him off life support at that moment, we could. The miracle that would take place in the hospital would be the miracle of us understanding what God was doing. So the 2 days that we had with him, he lived for 2 days on life support, that we had with him was, I think, God's time to give us an understanding as a family, and for us to maybe glorify him and give him credit. So we got down to the 48 hours in the hospital with Luke, and everybody's there praying. He had maybe 20-30 people there all day long. 2 days come and went, and it really felt like it was only about an hour for me. And I just remember praying harder than I could ever pray any time in my life. I remember the last day they were going to do one more test on Luke before they would remove him from life support. And I didn't really get an option at that point, and I wanted to fight it so bad. I was told that if the Lord wanted to do a miracle, he could do a miracle, but he could do it on or off life support. And I remember saying, "I know he can, but I'm human, and if I don't know for a fact that this was his time to go, and a doctor or a human takes him off life support, then I could blame that person for the rest of my life. And the Lord knows I don't want to blame anybody for my son's death. I want to know that it was God that took him so that I can move forward and be good with this." So I remember praying, and I remember Pastor Clay getting there that morning, and we all met in the room when they were doing that last test on Luke. And that's when it hit me, and I heard the Lord say, "You need to give him back. He was mine before he was yours." And I knew from that moment that it would be okay. And I knew what I had to do when I went back in the room. And I knew that Luke wouldn't get the earthly healing that he was hoping for. But at this moment, I didn't cry because I knew it was okay. And we were going into tell him goodbye because they were going to take him off life support. They said he didn't know anything I was saying to him. But every time I talked to Luke, I could see the stats kind of going up and down. I believe, and I choose to believe, that he heard and he knew everything that I said to him. And I knew what I had to do. So I walked over to Luke and I said, Luke, they say you don't hear me. And they say that you don't know what we're saying. I was like, but I think you do because I can see that you do. I was like, but you're tired. And we've prayed you back and we've told you to come back. And I said, you've obviously seen something greater than we have seen. And if you have seen Jesus, Luke, I said, heaven is so fast and we will be there. We'll be there sooner than you know. I said, your mom loves you, your dad loves you, and your sisters and brothers love you. And I said, or your sister and your brother loves you. I was like, if you've seen Jesus, Luke, keep walking. And it was probably not even 2 seconds later, everything just shut down. And I said, you can take him off life support now because I know where he's at. And I know who took him. So they removed the life support. I mean, his heart and everything had already stopped. He was already gone. He was already with Jesus at that time. But I remember looking at Chris and saying, he's with the Lord now. He said, how do you know? I said, everything's gone. I mean, he's flatlined. I said, everything is he's done. His heart is stopped. And that was one of my last prayers, though, is, Lord, don't let them remove him from life support. Let me know that his heart stops and you took it. Because I know that his last breath here will be his first breath with you, and he will be fine. My last prayer was answered. I know who he is with, and I know who took him. And I strongly believe in my heart that, that he is with the Lord, and we will definitely see him again. So.